it's Can't Stop, Won't Stop Wednesday. It's me alone, all alone, without Mike again today. And we're coming at you live from Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So thank you for joining us this morning. We have some great topics today. We're going to talk about tough deals and how they build character. And then we're going to give you some mental coaching tips, which I think we could all use. And then we're going to have word of the day. Our word of the day is going to be character. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. So before we get started, what do we do every day? We roll call. So want to know who's here. It's really important that everyone is here, joining in, and just, I think you always have a takeaway, no matter what. There's some takeaway that you can have. We're sharing. Please join in and be present. So if you're here, please chat your name in. Let us know you're here. And if you're new, thank you. Thank you for joining us and being a part of our little morning routine. And we are excited to have everyone. I do have one announcement to make, and we made a change to our weekly agent meetings. So we have condensed them down to only one day a week, which is on Wednesday. So we just made this effective yesterday. They will start today. Today at 10 o'clock, from 10 to 11, we're going to have our agent workshop. Our topic for this week's workshop, which is Workshop 25, is going to be multiple offers from a seller's perspective. And we're going to kind of walk through that process and talk about that in depth. So please remember 10 to 11 today. It's not Tuesday and Thursday. It's only on Wednesdays. If you cannot make it today is an exception. We understand because we just made this effective yesterday. But we want to encourage you all, if you can today, please join in. We're going to have some great discussions. All right, let's get started. Hey guys, Shana Acquisto, broker of Acquisto Real Estate. And how many of you have had some tough deals in your career? Maybe you've been doing real estate for a long time. Maybe you've been doing it for a short time. But I'll tell you, the tough deals will happen. And, you know, this is where you have to really be strong. You can't quit, right? We all, at times, want to just throw in the towel and quit. But you know what? You can't do that. You are a professional. You're a licensed professional. We got to pick you back up and get you back out there in the ring, okay? So that's kind of why our theme today is the weight room behind us. I talked to Omkar and I said, you know, we're going to talk about being mentally tough and how to build that strong character, okay? So let's talk about that. When you want to quit, what do you do? Well, something Mike always says is, let's talk about this. What is the worst thing that can happen? And when you really think about that situation and the worst possible outcome that could be, it's really not that bad. So we get all hung up on different things. You get hung up on the opposite side. Well, this person isn't very nice and they're treating me bad. And, you know, my client just is not realistic. They don't understand. I'm just done. I'm done. I can't find them a home. It's impossible. You know, there's multiple reasons why we just kind of want to throw in the towel. So I want to give you a couple of tips, all right? And I think the first one is, like I just talked about, think about the worst possible outcome that could happen. Is it really that bad? You know, we always look at it from a legal aspect. Are we going to get sued? What's the worst thing that's going to happen here? How much money is it going to cost us, right? So think about the worst possible outcome. The next thing I think is practice looking at it from the other side. So if you have an agent that is, you know, accusing you of something, or you're accusing them of something, maybe you're not understanding the full story. Maybe you don't know what they're going through. So I think if you take a minute in a tough situation and look at it from the other perspective, think about putting yourself in their shoes and what are they going through? Maybe they have a challenging client. Maybe there's some things that you don't know. So I think building that relationship with them, trying to understand it from a different perspective, and talking through that with the other agent could really get you far. The other thing is think about your intention. What is your intention here? In these tough situations, what is your intention? Think about your intention, and I think then it kind of comes to fruition, right? What are you trying to do here? Something that I think, when you're talking about your intention, I think when you think about your intention, you pay more attention to it, and then, you're able to achieve it. A big one that I see happen a lot is lose your ego. And a lot of you may think, I don't really have an ego, whatever, because I don't think I have an ego. But when you're working back and forth and it starts to get tense between you and another agent, that's where I think, you want to win. It becomes competitive. Hey, you're not going to talk to me like that, so I'm going to do this. So I think that you get in trouble when you do that, and you need to lose your ego. Forget about it. Think about your client. Lose your ego. The other thing I believe is, we keep trying to do the same things. So we're putting offers in over and over and over. We're no option, waive an appraisal, whatever it may be. Every time the same. Maybe you need to try to do things a little bit different. What does that mean? Well, change up your strategy a little bit. Maybe you need to talk to the other side and find out more key things to that deal that could benefit you in putting your offer in. Be the squeaky wheel. I've done that before where you just keep calling and calling and calling. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but they're going to remember you. If someone has 20 offers, you better stand out, right? So do things a little bit different there. I think that, we all kind of feel defeated. Like, I've tried, I've done this. I keep trying. My client, they can't put any more money down. They can't go up any higher. So we're just never going to get a home. That's not true. That's not true. So do things a little bit different. And I think the most important thing is to realize that nothing is perfect. Okay? Nothing is perfect. So you're going through these tough deals. They're not going to be perfect. I know you want to be perfect and you want everything to be rosy and, everybody get to closing, and it's, just like we hear from people who aren't in real estate. They perceive everything to be perfect in real estate. You guys drive nice cars, you have, nice homes, nice clothes, all of these things. You make lots of money, right? Well, is that really true? We put in a lot, but it's not perfect. So realize that, and it's okay. It's okay if you aren't perfect. So realize that. Don't beat yourself up. Be aware of your habits. What habits do you have that could be hindering this sale and making it more difficult? So we're not quitters. None of us are quitters. We're not going to throw in the towel. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep on plugging, because at some point it's going to come to an end. Everyone's going to get what they want, and you're going to be happy. And if you don't, it's okay. That's what I mean. Maybe the deal doesn't work out. Maybe that's the worst thing that could happen. That's okay too. Think of all the things that you've learned along the way. Okay? So you have to just think about those things. All right, we're going to move on. Good morning, Shana Acquisto, broker of Acquisto Real Estate. We're going to talk about mental coaching tips. What does that mean? So I have a link that I found, but before we share that, before Omkar shares that, I want to talk about this a little bit. When I was a kid, my dad, my brother and sister are older than I am, quite a bit older than I am. So I was like an only child. So I was a little fearful of my dad, to be honest. I mean, he was very firm and strong with me. He used, if I would cry, he would say, no, you're not a sissy. Straighten up. We don't cry. we don't do this, we don't do that. So I just, I think I was a little fearful of him, and it helped me now with, to be mentally strong in situations. Now I am a sap. We all know that. I cry at commercials. So, but when you're in a negotiation or a deal, you have to be mentally strong. And how do you do that? Well, you have to mentally coach yourself. And I think I learned that at an early age, that I have to identify what's going on and mentally coach myself out of it. So if I'm having a bad day or I'm struggling with whatever it is, and it happens, that happens to me, then I mentally coach myself out of it. So let's share these tips, Omkar, and kind of go through them one by one, because I think this is a great, some great tricks that kind of help boost your performance. All right, we're going to scroll down to number 1. The number 1 technique that this article mentions is relaxation. Boy, do I believe that. We all live in a society that is just go, 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 go. When we go to Montana, we realize that, man, it's even more competitive here. And if you don't, then, if you don't keep up with everything, the pace that we have here, then you probably will lose out on a client. They're going to find somebody else who will do it. So it puts a lot of pressure on us. So it's even more important that we take time to relax. Relaxation. We all have that, all these things going on in our head at once. And you need to find time to just mentally relax, disconnect. And that's hard to do. I personally started to go to yoga. And, when I first started, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it helps me, maybe it doesn't. It's done wonders for me. And I think that relaxation is part of it. At the end, you just kind of take a minute for yourself and think about, let go of all of these things that could be troubling you. And it's good to relax. You've got to take that time for yourself. Schedule yourself a massage. Something to make yourself relax. Even if it's for 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. Mike and I love to go out to our lake property. We go out there and we might be working, but it's relaxing to us because it's disconnecting from, our work. So relaxing. I think that's a real important one. Technique 2, positive self-talk. Okay? So we all have that, this mentions that we all have these voices in our head that either cuts us down or like, oh, why did you do that? I can't believe you did that. Or, just negative talk goes on in our own mind. So we need to strengthen that voice, that positive voice, and turn off the negative ones. So when you're starting to think and go down that path of negativity, you have to stop and say, you know what? Not today. I'm not going to do that. And you think of the opposite. And a lot of it is talking through it, right? With yourself. People might think you're strange if they hear you talking to yourself. I feel like I'm talking to myself right now. There's nobody around and I'm talking to just a camera. It's really weird. But anyway, positive self-talk. When these voices and you start going down this negative path, turn it around. Turn that car around, go back the other way. Technique 3, imagery or visualization. The act of mentally rehearsing complex skills. I think that is really good. Think, right? Think about it. For example, I'm going to talk about this example that they have in here. An executive can carefully write and practice a presentation for the board of directors. This really related to me, okay? So the work is done, you're all prepared, everything's great, and this happens to me, on TNT as well. Then you get up and you're shaking, you're nervous, and this is where if you just stop and think about the visualization of it, think about all the work you put into plan and forget that. Forget the shakes. Visualize. Think about what you're really there for. And I think that helps. Imagery. Goal setting is technique number 4. Goal setting, we talk about that a lot, don't we? Goal setting. By setting goals, you can stretch yourself and work towards something. You have something to work towards. Don't beat yourself up if you don't achieve it. But if you have a guide, I think no matter what type of personality that you are, if you have a goal in mind and you want to, you mentally, talk yourself into, what am I going to do? I want to achieve that goal. Here's the steps I'm going to take. I think you have that goal and it's much easier to achieve it if you have something lined out. If you're just going all willy-nilly all over the place, you don't have a structure, I think that's hard. So set goals for yourself, even if it's daily. Today, I have a list. I have a list on my iPad. Every day, here's my goals. I want to get I want to accomplish these things. And then at the end of the day, I look at it. If I haven't accomplished it, then it goes on to the next day. And that was a very hard thing for me to do, to not accomplish all the things I set out to do for that day. And I would stay up till whenever to accomplish and get my work done. And then I realized, what's the worst thing? If I have to punt it to the next day, is it really that bad? No, it's not. So set goals for yourself. Concentrate. I don't know about y'all, but as I get older, it's harder and harder to concentrate. And I think it's because we are piling so many things into our brain that we can't concentrate. So concentration, you have to block out the distractions. Boy, that's a hard one. How do you do that? When your phone's ringing, well, maybe you turn your phone off. When you're getting all these texts, when you're looking at your email. So we're not concentrating, and we're creating this distraction for ourselves. So if you truly want to sit and concentrate on something, you have to avoid the distractions. I go into my office and shut my door. People blast in all the time, even with my door shut. But I was thinking about that. Have I ever told anyone, when my door is shut like this, I need to concentrate? No. But I've started to let people know, hey, I need to concentrate here. I'm not ignoring you. I just need to focus on what I'm working on right now. Because if you don't do that, then you can see where you might miss something, and that's not good. If you miss something in a contract and it's monetary, that's really not good. So make sure that you're concentrating and you're eliminating the distractions. I think that's really a good tip. Another technique, energy management. Managing one's own energy levels contributes to high performance. This can involve refreshing yourself via meditation, relaxation, or visualization. Those are the top techniques that they mentioned, right? So if you want to create some energy, go back to the top and take care of those techniques. Think about those techniques. This talks about eating and sleeping. That's really important. Mike and I had the conversation about this yesterday. It seems like every week we're getting less and less sleep. It's funny that you hear the average hours that one should sleep is, 9. I don't even remember what it is, but it's a lot. And I don't know. Sometimes when I sleep too much, I'm even more tired. But I think not getting enough sleep is worse. So make sure you're eating properly, exercising, get up. I really think I want to invest in one of those stand-up desks. Tanner and I were talking about that. He wants one as well. But I'll find myself 3 hours later still sitting at my desk. I haven't got up. I haven't moved. That's not good. You've got to keep up, keep moving. Another thing we talk about around here is move it or lose it. And I believe that. If you don't move, then you're going to lose it. So you see people who don't go and exercise and they don't eat right. They don't do these things properly and they end up losing it. Their body just kind of shuts down. So there's one more technique that I want to talk about, and that's ego management. And again, we talked about that a little earlier or in the previous topic, but I think that's, the way they define it is ego management is defined in terms of the elite performer's connection to the performance results. After investing extensive time, energy, and money, the performer can become unhealthily intertwined with the goal. The goal becomes, I can't see. The goal becomes linked with the elite performer's view of himself. So you're just kind of, beating yourself up here, right? Isn't that what that means? Don't do that. You guys are all amazing. And that's what I love about our real estate family. We support and build each other up. That's what we do. Pass the praise. Keep passing the praise. You never know when when the person you're passing the praise for may need that at that time. Right? So that's something I want to reinforce. Pass the praise. We came up with that a long time ago. That was a Mike thing. Let's do it. We did it because it's hard to talk about yourself, but it's easy to talk about someone else. So if you're doing it in a way where you're passing it from person to person, then you accomplish it. The point gets across. You're not feeling like, oh, I'm better than you, because nobody is better than anyone else. But manage your ego, okay? All right. Well, I hope that helped you guys talk about mental coaching. We all have to mental coach ourselves every day, especially in this business. All right, we're going to move on. Word of the day. Guess what our word of the day is today? It's character. I'm going to define character, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. Character is one of the attributes or features that make up and distinguish an individual. In a sentence, this is a side of her character that few people have seen. Do you want it to be good or bad? You're in control of that. So think about it. If someone were to describe you, what would they say your character was? What type of character? I don't know. I think it's good to think about. All right, guys. We're going to wrap this up. All right, that's a wrap for today. Woo! Can't stop, won't stop Wednesday. So we had some good topics today that I believe were good and something we should really focus on and think about. How tough deals build character. Think about that. You've all had the tough deals. What's the outcome there? Mental coaching tips. This is a great way. You're in charge of you, that we can go through and coach ourselves, mentally coach ourselves. Think about it. What is your intention? Right? Otherwise, who else is going to do that? Then we had a word of the day, character. So all kind of tied in together. Remember, today is agent workshops. Okay, we have the link. Omkar is going to share the link with us. It's the same meeting room for Mike's Zoom that we've always used. It's going to be today, Wednesday, from 10 to 11. This is ongoing. This isn't just this week, you guys. This is forever. 10 to 11. So if you can't make it today, please reach out and let me know. Otherwise, we expect everyone to be on, and we're going to have some great discussions. All right, have a good day. Picture time. Okay. Oh, how am I going to do this? Okay. I'll just point.